There's idiots, and then there's me. Next level idiot. That was ridiculous. Alright, we're actually at the top now because I've walked around on the main roads right there. Perfect. That's what I wanted to happen. I gotta get out the bloody window. Oh. After we left Bellingen, we came through to Coffs, got some fuel in Coffs, and now we come out the back of Coffs into an area, I don't even really know. It's kind of like out the back of Boambi, out the back of Coffs, out in the forest here. And then we're following this little creek track, but that was a bit of a mistake there by me. I walked along the edge of that and looked in there, and that water is so clear, and I could have sworn that was knee depth. And then I went in there and it was nearly waist depth, and I couldn't come up out of there, so I just quickly got out of there because the car was sitting in some pretty deep water. But that's obviously why there's a track around this part, so we'll just go the track around and keep going. We're going to try and find a camp up along this creek somewhere. This is an awesome little track, this one. It's about 3:30. There's steam coming out of my mouth. What time is it?
3:26.
3:26. Yeah, this is an awesome little track. We're just cruising along it. In and out of the creek here, through a few little sections. Kai wanted to go back through that bit where we nearly drowned the car before. He was upset that we didn't go back through it, and I was like, well, I already nearly drowned the car once, that's enough. Now we've got another bit here. I'm going to actually walk that because I realised that even when it looks knee depth, it may not be. So we're going to walk through this bit and see how deep it is. Geez, this bit's deep too. Oh, my feet. Oh, okay. Alright, looks like these pants are wet. Oh, a little bit cold, my pants are wet. Yeah, well, that's how deep it is. Made it, just. Look where the water was up to along the edge of the car there. I'm gonna go for a swim since I'm already wet, and Kai reckons I wouldn't go for a swim because he says it's too cold. It is pretty cold. Well, the water's cold and the air's cold. And I'm also going to check. I'm also going to check how deep this is, if we can keep going, because this looks pretty deep here. Dude, we don't own like a submarine to get through here.
What do you mean? How deep is it?
Well, this deep? What do you want me to drive through this?
Yep.
No, we can't get through this.
Just, why don't we try?
Because the car will drown.
Really?
It's like nearly neck height.
But the car is taller than you.
Yeah, but like, that's a lot of water to push through, and we got no one here to help us. If we get stuck, we'll just have a car stuck here and the water will be coming in the windows. And I can try come right up here, but the angle's too bad. It'll be like leaning in the creek.
What's wrong with that? I always give it a go. It might work. It might get through with that angle.
If I had someone here to help us, like to pull us out, I'd do it. But it's a bit silly when we're on our own. After we came off that creek track, went for a bit of a drive around there. There is a camp spot out here that I know of that I was going to camp at, but there's people there unfortunately, so I've come back to this creek. There was a nice little spot just up there, but I've just come back up along here. We're going to collect some of this wood. Wood's pretty hard, seems to be pretty hard to find around here at the moment. I'm just going to collect some of this dead driftwood and maybe chainsaw a few of those big bits up, and then we'll head back to camp. Definitely not the best wood, but a few bits there, alright, I think. Hopefully should be enough to get a nice warm fire going tonight and in the morning. No, it's alright, Kai, I got it. So don't exert yourself. I'll get all the wood. You just take it easy. Made it to our camp spot here on this beautiful creek. We chose this spot because there's a couple of dirt patches up there under that tree. I'll put the mat out and the swag on rather than trying to sleep on the rocks of the creek. This is where a rooftop tent would be perfect. Park your car on the rocks there on a level bed and up overlook the creek. But with the swag, we just got to find a bit that's not too rocky, get our fire going, set up our swag, and should be a good spot. It's only 4:45, but already sun's gone down, it's getting dark. Kai's going for a swim. Such an awesome camp spot last night on this creek. Had the warm fire going. These creeks out the back of Coffs Harbour are just amazingly clear. I've never seen creeks like this clear anywhere else in this Coffs Harbour sort of Bellingen region. We're only just over the other side of the mountains from where we were at that Never Never Creek. So Never Never Creek runs out of a mountain range, and then we're just down over the other side of that. But you have to come all the way back to get in here. I don't think you can get up over the top of that. But just look how clear all this water is. There's not really many actual campsites around the Coffs Harbour area, especially out the bush. Like, you got the closest sort of coastal ones are that Ura National Park, Pebbly Beach, Station Creek. And then when it comes to bush, you kind of got to go further out to get actual marked campsites. But if you're willing to do a bit of exploring out in the bush behind Coffs, there is beautiful spots like these that you can find. The Coffs area is just such a beautiful area, like this bush, rainforest, creek area just out the back of Coffs. So nice, and then you got all that nice coastline back at Coffs as well. Definitely one of our favourite places to come to, and just an insane amount of four-wheel drive tracks everywhere out here, but so many of them are extreme. We'll pack up camp here soon and go for a bit of a drive around the area. I know a couple little tracks, a bit of fun, and then we might try and find a swimming spot somewhere. And I don't know what else we'll do yet. We're going home today, so we'll see how time goes. Now I'm not going to give away the exact location of this area here, as I've been asked by several Coffs locals not to. So if you want to find it, you're just going to have to go exploring and find it yourself. And honestly, that's how I find all these places myself, through exploring and adventure. And for me, that's where a lot of the fun lies. After leaving camp that morning, we went to check out a few of the local tracks I knew in that area, but they were just still so insanely slippery from the rain. If you've ever been to the Coffs Harbour area when it's wet, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. It's just too slippery out here. We haven't had rain for 2 days, but it just doesn't dry up. It's just, the ground's just still so wet. And then these red clay surfaces, I nearly got up then first go. I was getting so close, I couldn't quite get there. You just kind of hold it, you steer, you move your wheel left and right, you try and find that grip. It worked that one before, but this one I just couldn't quite get there. And then once you take that top layer off, it just gets harder and harder every time. I could winch up, but I don't know, I think I might just turn around. We're just getting further and further out into the bush here, but this is just so slippery. We kind of followed the track along the creek and we come to this insane swimming spot here. We've pulled up, got a little waterfall coming down, a big deep rock pool there, the sun's shining. It's actually pretty warm for winter. We're gonna have a swim here, it's beautiful. How cool is this? Woo! Cold! Go, go! After we came out of that other area, I decided to come for a drive through to Morbid Trail. I've never done this track before, but I always wanted to come check it out. Now I knew it was like an open track, not sort of in the bush from what I'd seen. You know, I knew there was these power line sections. I thought, you know, with this wind, a couple of days of sun, hopefully it would have dried up and we get up this track up the top of Mount Karamba and finish up there, but it's still greasy. I don't know, there's been cars up it today, but I don't know how they went. It looks very slippery. You got the main insane one, which obviously won't be going up, but there's a side track. I don't know, I'm here now, I may as well have one go at getting up there, see how slippery it is. It's not as bad as I thought. It has dried out a bit. It is still a little bit slippery, but I'm just gonna have to stick to these side tracks. The main track is pretty hectic. In the dry I'd be able to do, there's some bits of it I'd probably have a go at. Some bits definitely not. In the wet, looks like most of that main bit's out. It's just the side tracks up to the top here. Now these bits were still reasonably slippery, but because they were pretty smooth, you're able to hold some speed. So on that bit there, I was actually 4th gear low range with a fair bit of momentum, and that got me up there without any drama. But that was kind of the last bit of the easy side tracks, and from there on, it's the main track only, and you got to commit to it. And that's where things started getting more and more interesting the further and further you got up. So close. Nearly had that, just that little bit of slip that's kept killing me. Like I could kind of idle it. You can't really drive that bit fast, too rocky, too bouncy. So I had to go 1st gear low range. It's just that keeps like slipping on that little bit of clay underneath the rocks. I don't know what to do. Just made it. That was so close. I got no rubber left on my tyres. I burned them all off on those rocks. I was just kind of holding it, just trying to let it grab. That little step there was catching me out, and I backed up a bit and gave a little bit. It popped up over it. We're only, from the map, we're maybe half a K from the top. So I don't know, see what else is to come, but I'm committed to the top now. I don't want to come back. What do you think of Morbid Track? Are you hungry for lunch?
Kinda.
We might drive this next little bit, see if we can get to the top, or if there's any more hectic sections where we think it might take a bit to get up, and we'll stop and have some lunch. But top's only just up there. Ooh. Now Morbid Trail is not a long track, it's only a few kilometres long, and I'd already done maybe 3/4 of it according to the map, but little did I know what I was in for trying to get up that last K or so. That's where things just got really wet, slippery, challenging. Ruts got bigger, rock steps got bigger. What a long afternoon we were going to be in for. couldn't get up the main bit there, but there was a side track, and I originally hadn't gone it because it did look so wet and slippery, but since we couldn't get up the main bit, I thought I'd give it a crack, and well, didn't turn out so good either. That's what I was worried about, going into the bush. Couldn't get up that main bit, and then there is a side track, but it just seems to be getting more wet up the top here. I don't know, like it wasn't too bad down there. There's a little bit of slipperiness, but now it's getting like wet. And try to come up this side track and just slid off. So I don't know, might be a winch job from here. Might actually have a bit of lunch. The top's like only just there, we're so close. Ah!
How did we even get here?
We slid. I was trying to drive up here and the car just slipped that way. How's the views, Buckeye? Look, there's the ocean all the way out over there, and we're nearly up the top of Mount Karamba, off in the bush. Set up the winch, bit of a scene because there's only small trees kind of around here. We found a big stump. I've put the winch extension strap around that because the tree trunk protector wouldn't fit around it. Down here onto the soft shackle. These soft shackles are already coming in good use. Now onto the tree trunk protector because I need a little bit of extra room because the winch rope was running out. Down to the car down there, and then we'll see how we go. Yeah, the blanket is extra weight in case something breaks and it falls to the ground. Right, you want to come back down to the car or what?
No, I'm gonna stay here.
Well, you can't really stay near all these straps. Those new Ironman 4x4 soft shackles that we were using were actually really good. I love them. Now obviously there's benefits of soft shackles versus your original metal steel shackles, but for me the soft shackle is a whole lot better. Things can and do go wrong in recoveries, and taking away that hard shackle is removing one of the most dangerous items in the recovery kit. So those soft shackles are rated to 17,500 kilos. They're safer, lighter, and a lot harder to lose. They do float in mud and water, and being a bright green, you can see them easily. Alright, we're off that bit, back onto the track, stuck again in another rut, slippery red rut, can't get out of it. We're going to have to winch up this. I'm going to walk up now because the top's only just there, it's only 100-200 metres away, so hopefully this is the last bit, then we are up the top. Now very quickly I'll bring up lockers. I have mentioned them several times before, but I'm sure I'll get a lot of people mention them again when they see these videos. Yes, I could have lockers. No, I don't have them. Why don't I have them? Well, they're expensive. I can't afford them. I put all my money towards camera gear, servicing, repairing the car, and trips away. Maybe one day. And with the help of the winch, look at all these places I get anyway. Up that bit. Now I've had to walk up. There's the top of the mountain just there, but unfortunately there is another bit that's probably going to be a winch job. I haven't told Kai yet. Another winch. We're going to stop here, have lunch, chill, take a breather for half hour, and then we'll get up that last bit and then home time. I could go back, but then I'll just want to come back and do it again. I'd rather just conquer the track today. Finished up lunch, it's about 2 o'clock. This is the last section. I sent the drone up and I could see the top of the hill just there. There's a fair climb here. I'm hoping I can at least get up this bit and then maybe winch that last bit, and then hopefully there's not like, then it's only like 80 meters to the top. Hopefully there's nothing there to catch me out, but it's still wet. But it's not really that red slippery clay anymore. But so there we go. Alright, I'm calling it there. This is the last section. I'm not breaking anything. I'm not going harder. I've already gone hard enough today. And I'm not even close. I'm going to have to get real hectic to attempt to get up here. The amount of times I thought I was up the top, nearly up the top, up to the last section, just became a joke in the end. Every time I'd come around the next corner, there'd be another bit and I'd be winching again. What an absolute mission this ended up being. Wow, what a day. At least I can say I did morbid trail. Just don't do it when it's still damp. Even if it wasn't damp, like, it's not like it would have been an easy drive. I'd still probably be winching anyway. But it definitely did add that bit of extra excitement. Now don't forget to reconnect that free spool. That's what I did last time. I hopped in the car and I was like, damn, the rope's on free spool. Okay. I thought to myself, surely this had to be the last winch for the day. But we came round the corner and there was one more hill to go. I didn't even attempt to drive up it. I was just straight on the winch up to the top. So this total day on Morbid Trail ended up taking us about 5 to 6 hours for the few kilometre track. All that winching on my own takes a long time. Idiots, and then there's me, next level idiot. That was ridiculous. Alright, we're actually at the top now because I've walked around in the main roads right there. I didn't even try and drive that last bit. I got to the bottom and I just winched it. And look at like my diff marks here. Like, there was no way I was getting up that. Just slippery, deep ruts. head up, ready to go. What a day, track, weekend that ended up being. So much fun, but yeah, definitely a mission to get up that morbid track there. I was just speaking to a couple of people who came past there, and they said like those top bits this time of year, weeks and weeks till they dry out, you know. But yeah, stay away from these tracks. It's been raining the last few days, but they said, you know, you'll be waiting weeks for it to dry out.